We all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I hit the button. I hit the button, which means we are currently streaming live.
Okay,
I'm
let me
Chris
share
Donovan
it in a
and I'm
dozen
live.
different...
I'm Chris Donovan and I'm on Facebook Live. Oh la la. Tra la 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 la.
It's weird, Chris. You sound just like Cookie Monster before he eats a face full of cookies.
A face full.
That is accurate.
What am I like? Oh, You know when you open up Facebook and you immediately forget what you're looking up, and then you just start looking at Facebook?
Oh yeah, that dead-eyed
All the time.
scroll that everybody does.
That's all I do every day.
I shared it to my timeline.
That excellent work.
And then I exited out of Facebook because I don't need it right now.
I don't need it.
I don't need
Well,
it.
except for the fact that it's the the platform we use for the show that you're on. But other than that,
Yeah, but I
yes.
just shared it. I don't need it right now.
Just shared it. Come on.
Come on, Chris. I just shared it.
Okay, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
1 minute, Chris.
Thank you very much, Al.
A lot can happen in 1 minute, we've learned.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what happened? What happened? Now I want to know.
Chris has to step away for that to happen.
Cool.
No,
yes.
last time I went away and got a
other person.
beverage, I came back and people were talking about being
Donovan's
rude.
learned he can never leave.
Uh-oh.
You left for 30 seconds and you missed the only boob of the show.
No.
All right, the second to last boob of the show.
Thank
Al,
you.
how are we looking on time?
We got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Thank you very much, Al.
I always forget that I'm also the only person no one can hear.
Yeah, he's sneaky like that. Nobody can hear Al except us.
A ghost.
Ooh, spooky
Like the
dooky.
movie Ghost.
I am
Just
a-
like the
Yes.
I am a
ghost.
spooky.
And we do actually have an entire category that's just about pottery.
10,
Yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you guys are ready to go.
5,
How we feeling? Everybody's
Great.
good?
I'm ready to win this thing.
go.
Or lose.
I
or
wish
whatever.
everyone the best of luck, but let's
Ready
keep
to
that
partake.
energy going. And do you
Yeah.
want to know why you're going to keep that energy going?
Why?
Because
Why?
it's Tuesday night. Those elastic marks behind your ear are permanent now. And your favorite sweatpants and your favorite work ensemble are one and the same thing. This is quarantine!
Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I don't think anyone's making noise.
Okay, good.
Hello, and welcome once again, everybody, to Quarantine, the game show where tonight's winner will not be contested in Pennsylvania, Georgia, or Arizona. My name is Chris Iannucci. We're so thrilled to be back again. I am so thrilled to be back as your host after a short little break. Luckily, we were gone for about 2 weeks. I don't think anything major happened in the news, so fortunately, it was a good time for us to take a little pause. And wait, what? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we've got some ground to cover here. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. And tonight we have two very fantastic teams who are joining us from around the country. And we're going to introduce them right now. First of all, coming to us from the great state of Rhode Island, we have PechaKucha Providence. And playing tonight for PechaKucha Providence, we have Chris, we have Mel, and we have Gary. Give everybody a big wave for the folks at home. And so PechaKucha, great name, so much fun to say. Tell us a little bit about your organization so the people at home who've never said that word out loud know what I'm talking about.
Sure. So this whole thing started in Japan, and the idea is 20 images that last 20 seconds each. So it's 6 minutes and 40 seconds to tell a story, convey a message, share an idea. We took it in 2009 in Providence, and we get people from the community to talk about things that they love. And we do it once a month. And we are the second longest running in the world out of over 1,200 cities. Only thing that we follow is Tokyo. They started the whole deal. So it's pretty cool.
Is so cool. I've been to a few of them. I've been fortunate enough to participate in one of them. You actually just did one recently, socially distanced outside at the Providence Athenaeum, right?
Not the Athenaeum, the Temple to Music at Roger Williams Park. Beautifully moonlit night. It was gorgeous.
Yes, that's fantastic. Well, kudos, and we'll talk a little bit more about PechaKucha later on in the show. But first, we've got to get to your competitor tonight, the trio who is looking to unseat PechaKucha, as it were. And joining us, Chicago-based, we have Please Make This. And tonight, playing on Please Make This, we have Spencer, Laura, and Hobart. Give everybody a wave for the folks back home.
Woo!
And so Please Make This. Y'all have a really fun podcast that I've been listening to since I first heard about you. And please tell the audience at home who haven't heard your show before exactly what it is that you three do.
Yeah, so what we do is, it's changed in quarantine, but what we do is we get together, we pitch a movie, and then we split up and we write the individual pieces of those movies, and then we do a live reading we do a reading of them, and we put that out in the world, and we actually just finished our first full-length script.
That's awesome. So you guys are just now. Have you had any ideas that have come out in the podcast that you're just like, man, like we gotta follow this. We gotta make this. This has to hit the screen.
Hobart, you're muted.
Oh yes, just so you know, Hobart, you're muted.
You've been muted. Well, I'm sure it was an excellent joke.
Oh, no. I said a lot of swear words just then. I'm glad I was muted.
That's our censors. They're sticklers. Yeah.
They're so on top of it.
I was just like, holy bleep. No, we've made a couple movies that I really wish we could make. So if you have a lot of money lying around and you like to gamble, why not gamble on a script?
You may have a wealthy benefactor waiting in the audience tonight. So let's see. Well, it might be contingent on how you guys do tonight during the game. But we're going to get to that. But before we do, real quick, we're going to do a quick shout out to the man behind the curtain, the guy who keeps the show running so seamlessly. My favorite, my big brother, Al Iannucci. Al, how's it going tonight?
It's going, man. How are you doing? Staying safe?
Doing fantastic. Yeah, as always, especially now. It's getting crazy out there.
Mm-hmm.
But you as well. It's good to see you. I know we had a couple of weeks off. Did you do anything fun?
I stayed inside. I wanted to change it up a little bit, so I just hung in the house, really kick back, relax, turn on a little Netflix, just changing it up.
It's really good to just, switch up the routine every now and again. It's good for your mental health. All right. Well, thank you, as always, Al, for making the show look as great as it does. So for those of you who have never seen the show before, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. We know you're going to have a great night. But for those of you at home and also for our contestants tonight, we're going to explain the rules very quickly. In front of me, I have a series of lovingly handcrafted trivia categories that were put together by myself and our team here at Quarantine. Yes, I said team because we are a legitimate-ass game show. So in front of me, I have a series of categories, all of them having something to do with the pandemic or something to do with this crazy, mixed-up world that we're calling 2020. And I will ask those questions to our teams. Now, they will have a specific amount of time to answer the question. If they get it right, they will get the points. If they get the question wrong, or if they run out of time, the question will then be passed on to the other team, who will have an opportunity to steal for half the amount of points. Make sense to everybody?
Love it.
All right, we also have a few moments throughout the show where you, our audience, are going to be asked to help us participate by giving us some suggestions or by voting on your favorite answer, such as this moment that's happening right now. So here's what I need our audience to give me as a suggestion for our contestants. I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for a rare or precious item or an expensive item. So a suggestion of something that is rare, expensive, precious, something along those lines. In addition to that, I'm also looking for a suggestion of a location, specifically something that's not connected to the item that you're suggesting. So if you suggest a piece of art, don't say a museum. If you suggest a piece of electronic equipment, don't say Best Buy. But we're looking for a rare or expensive item, and we're looking for a location, could be specific, could be vague. Let's see what you got. Throw it in the chat. And we have people monitoring the chat right now who are going to take your best suggestions, and we're going to get back to those a little bit later in the show. But first, let's get into our first category for tonight. Now, if anybody was alive in the last 2 weeks, you may have heard that we have a new president-elect. Or at least most people agree that we have a new president-elect. Now, there's been a lot of talk about some of the potential fraud or some of the baseless claims that have been made about the election being stolen, so much so that the president himself has refused to concede officially and is sort of promoting this idea that this hashtag Stop the Steal, that the campaign was stolen from him, which in terms of our show is pretty detrimental because a lot of health experts are saying that without a proper transition from one person to the next, it may be difficult for us to be able to get the proper health equipment that we need, especially in the event that a vaccine is created. So I thought instead of talking about something that was claimed to be stolen but clearly wasn't, we would ask our contestants questions about things that definitely were stolen in our first category of the night called Mighty Heists.
Excellent.
This entire category is about things that were stolen in history. So we sanitized and flipped a coin before we got started tonight. And please make this. You're going to get the first question of this category. So these are all worth 100 points. Stealing gets you 50. Y'all ready for this?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, your first question for 100 points. In 1911, Vincenzo Perugia, a petty thief, managed to walk out of the Louvre with this masterpiece tucked under his coat and kept it for 2 years. It's worth at least $2 billion, and it is hands down the most expensive individual object ever stolen. What was it?
Oh, we get the Mona Lisa.
I'm going to assume that's your final answer.
I'm going to assume so as well.
I'm gonna trust Hobart. He got really excited. Yeah.
There's a huge thumbs up in the middle of that question, so I'm going to assume that that's your final answer.
Mhm.
Also known as La Gioconda, the Mona Lisa is correct for 100
Good job,
points.
Hobart.
Yeah. Great
All
work.
Good
right.
job.
Moving over to...
That guy was actually Hobart's great-grandfather.
I really think it's
He
great
let
that
me
you...
keep a little corner of it. It's in my wallet.
I think it was really great that he let you keep the mustache, too. I thought that was
Yeah.
awesome. All
Yeah,
right.
this is a family heirloom.
Moving over to PechaKucha.
It's a family heirloom.
Oh, all right. We get one.
I
Everybody
told
gets
you I
one.
had better ones.
Oh, man. All right. This one, over to PechaKucha. Your question for 100 points. This pair of Hollywood memorabilia was stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in 2005 and were missing without a trace for 12 years until the thieves tried to extort money for the return and were quickly recovered by the FBI. What was stolen?
I'm pretty sure it's the red shoes, the ruby red
Yeah.
slippers.
Final answer from PechaKucha.
Final answer from PechaKucha. It is the correct answer. It was one of the pairs of ruby slippers for 100 points. Nicely
My
done.
mom sent me that trivia like a month ago.
Did your mom write for
She
the show?
knew.
Because this could be a conflict of interest. All right, this back over to Please Make This. This is your question for 100 points. In 2008, the Daily News made headlines when, in an attempt to expose a loophole allowing con artists to submit fraudulent deeds, they forged fake documents and in under 90 minutes stole the deed and took ownership of this $2 billion landmark.
It's got to be like either like the Eiffel Tower or the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that.
I want to say Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay, I'll go with that. I have no idea.
I think it was like a building.
It's either got to be that or the Eiffel Tower. But if you think it's the Brooklyn Bridge, we're Brooklyn Bridge all the way, baby.
Is that a final answer from you?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was not the Brooklyn Bridge, which
Damn.
means PechaKucha, you can get 50 points if you can guess the landmark that the Daily News stole.
Is Daily News American? I don't think it is it?
Daily.
So would it be something like Big Ben? It's British.
I feel like, yeah, one of the giant landmarks, or Eiffel Tower, like they were saying.
The Eiffel Tower is French.
Go with Big Ben.
Oui.
Sure.
Go with Big Ben.
Final answer?
Seems around there.
Unfortunately, that is not correct either. The Daily News is based out of New York, and they
Is this the
stole
Statue of
the
Liberty?
Empire State Building.
Come
I bet
on.
David
In 90
Copperfield was
minutes,
involved.
they took ownership of the Empire State Building, and they gave it back 24 hours later. All right, so no points awarded for either team, but we learned something, didn't we?
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I
really
was steal
cute.
the Empire State Building.
This one stays with PechaKucha. This one is for you. Originally known as the Tavernier Blue, this piece was stolen from the French crown in 1791. Thankfully, we know exactly where it is today, as it sits in the Smithsonian, insured for a cool $250 million.
Is that like, it just makes me think of like Titanic, Heart of the Ocean.
Like the Hope Diamond.
Ooh,
Hope Diamond's
that's,
real.
that's a real thing, yeah.
The Hope Diamond's real. The Heart of the Ocean is not.
Isn't that like in Moana? Or
Titanic.
We'll answer that one.
Wait, that
later.
wasn't real?
What?
The Titanic was definitely real. Do I have an answer?
What?
An answer from you,
I'm gonna
PechaKucha?
say I think it's the Hope Diamond. because I've
Yep.
seen that in the Smithsonian.
Final answer?
Yeah.
100% correct. It is the Hope Diamond for 100 points. All right, last question of the category, and this one goes back over to Please Make This for 100. In 2012, thieves made off with 720,000 gallons of this precious commodity from a reserve depot in Quebec. With a total value of $20 million, it was the most valuable heist in Canadian history. What did they steal?
It's maple syrup, right? Yeah, It's either that or poutine. But
Not really a natural
poutine.
resource, but I understand what you're saying.
You have to mine for
grows out of the
things we
poutine.
know
ground,
about.
sure.
Okay.
It just
The
bursts out of the
poutine
ground like oil.
fountains, yeah, like
Moose
oil.
blood.
I just
I
swallowed
think
a whole
it's syrup.
skill.
Maple syrup.
I trust that.
I'll take
Final
it.
answer?
Yeah.
Sure.
It was maple syrup for 100 points.
Hell yeah, good
Although
job,
I
Spence.
will say I would value a gallon of poutine more than a gallon of maple syrup, but
Right.
that's just my humble opinion.
Thank you.
What weighs more, a gallon of poutine or a gallon of maple syrup?
Hey, I write the questions here. All right.
I do
and,
my own
spe-
sideshow here in the bar.
I'm willing to find
Speaking-
out.
Speaking of questions and answers, I'm looking at the score right now, and you're both tied at 200 points. Which means that there's an opportunity right now for one of the teams to make a little extra scratch with our next game, which I'm calling Sketchy Artist.
Oh yeah, baby.
Now, here's how this is going to work. Earlier, which is about 5 minutes ago, I asked everybody in the chat to give me a suggestion of an expensive or valuable item and a location. So here's what I need. Al, I need one location and one item for each of the teams.
All right, so for Please Make This, we're going to go with a puppy and McDonald's.
Okay?
And for PechaKucha, we're going to do a diamond and an aquarium.
All right. So here's how this game is going to work. PechaKucha, I need one person to step forward and volunteer virtually. Step forward.
Mel.
All right, Mel, and then we need one person on Please Make This, if you could volunteer.
Who's the best artist? We're all
I'll
writers.
do it.
Yeah, go get him, Laura.
Take
I'll do
All right,
it.
Laura and Mel. I'm sorry, Laura, if you're the best artist, because you're going to be the models for this one. So
Oh,
here's what
exciting.
we're going to do. If Mel and Laura, you're going to make sure that you get yourself square to the camera so that your other two teammates can get a good look at your face, because your other two teammates are going to do their best to take a pen and a paper, and in 60 seconds, they're going to draw their best caricature. So police sketch artist depiction / caricature of you stealing the item from the location that your team was given. So to remind both teams, let's see, Mel, you stole a diamond from the aquarium, and Please Make This, Laura, you stole a puppy from McDonald's. So
Great.
Al, if you could throw 60 seconds on the clock.
We're ready.
And we're going to give you a ready, set, go. When I say go, you're going to do your best to draw your best rendition of the crime that your team has committed. Ready?
Excellent.
Set, go! 60 seconds is on the
I'm
clock.
holding a puppy in these hands, guys.
I got to ask, Laura, why'd you do it?
Oh, you know what? Who wouldn't steal a dog? What if he didn't have an owner?
Yeah, and,
Who put
and
this puppy in this McDonald's?
I don't know. Mel, was there any special trick to getting the diamond out of the aquarium? Did you have to
Throwing
time
in
the
a,
guards? Or
Yeah, I was gonna say throwing in a hunk of meat because it was probably a piranha aquarium.
Oh, that's even more dangerous. I mean, if I was
Yeah.
going to keep a diamond somewhere safe, it would definitely be at the bottom of the piranha tank.
30 seconds, Chris.
It's just smart. 30 seconds left on the clock, everybody, and let's keep those pens moving. Remember, the audience is going to vote on their favorite, so you want to make sure that these look ridiculous.
Great.
And 15 seconds.
You got 15 more seconds. Mel, let's say you get away with this. What are you going to do with all that cash you get out of that diamond?
Set up a hacienda or
5,
quarantine
4,
bunker.
3,
Nice. And real quick, Laura, what's
2,
the puppy's name?
1.
Rutherford.
Rutherford. What a great puppy name. And
Thanks.
pens down, everybody. Writing
yeah.
utensils down. Great job.
Hell yeah.
And let's see if they manage to get away with their crimes, because right now I'm going to need everybody who just drew something to hold up your piece of paper to the camera and try to get it as
So
close to the
excited.
camera as easy to see for our audience at home as possible.
So sorry, Laura.
And we're gonna walk.
Trust you.
And we're gonna walk through
That's
these.
beautiful,
real quick.
Hobart.
Laura, this is an excellent picture of you.
This is
Okay.
so great.
Gary really captured
Oh,
my
You guys did a great
body.
job with these. All right, let's start with PechaKucha Providence. Okay, let's see. Donovan, can you tell us what your inspiration was here?
So this is Mel, and you can tell it's Mel because for safety, she's wearing a diving helmet, but you still got the Mel glasses on the outside. And she's got oxygen so that she can be underwater. And then she, as we were talking about what you'd find in the aquarium, so we had some eels swimming around, the diamond that she's taking from the treasure chest.
Oh, those are eels. Okay, great.
Oh.
Yep, yeah.
The easiest
Whoa!
fish to draw.
I'm sorry that you don't get art.
We all have our mediums that we stick to, and mine is not art. All right, and then over to Gary. Let's see what you got here. Gary, also you're muted, just so you know. Okay.
Oh,
no.
yep, I got you.
Okay, great.
So this aquarium was a little bit bigger. So Mel is diving deep into there. I attempted to use a mermaid like style, floating
It
down
shows.
there.
It definitely shows.
I can
Yep,
see it.
and it's
Yeah.
it's a giant big diamond that she's attempting to pick up. I totally forgot to put like scuba apparatus on there. Oops. But there is one
She's
sole
free diving.
piranha.
Yeah, she's
can hold
free
her breath
diving,
for
which
a
is a
while.
very bold choice. All right, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, PechaKucha. And then moving over to Please Make This. Hobart, let's start with you. To walk us through your police sketch.
Yeah, so I was very inspired when we talked earlier about my grandfather's famous painting theft. So
Clearly,
I tried
yes.
to give Laura that certain Mona Lisa smile,
Absolutely.
barely perceivable.
Nailed
She
it.
feels nothing as she steals this puppy.
I'm also balancing it on one hand. Like,
Yeah,
I used to be
yeah,
a waitress, so that really taps into a talent of mine.
It's on one of those like orange McDonald's trays too, so it's really in keeping with the theme. And I also, because since she was stealing a dog, not because I ran out of time, I gave her the pupilless little orphan Annie eyes.
Clearly, that was clearly it was an artistic choice done,
Yep.
not out of a ration of time. Also, you could hang that in the Louvre today, and your great grandkids could steal that, and it would probably be worth $2 million.
The family
Nicely
tradition.
All right, and finally, Spencer. Last but not least, Spencer, just walk us through what's going on here. I see a lot of dash lines, which means that Laura was very quick.
Oh
Quick
yeah.
girl.
So she's stealing this puppy, and you can tell it's Laura because this is something that she regularly does. Yeah, she's.
I don't know who wrote that in, but the
You can-
comments, but
She's got her big smile here.
This is not your first
She's extremely excited to be stealing this very cute little puppy. And I'm assuming this is the person who she stole it from because they're sad. And this guy's the manager, and he's going, why, yada.
I thought he was holding a tiny stop sign.
No,
I thought it's a burger on a stick, right?
That's his fist. That's about half the size of his
I
head.
thought he was like flipping patties or something.
You guys,
It's
let the
a
other team
McDonald's
talk
burger.
shit on my drawings. You have to be nice
Well,
about
we're
it.
interpreting it.
We're
We'll
pointing out the
interpret it
charming
correctly.
aspects.
Come on!
Anyways,
Everyone did
speaking of winning, you're all artists in my book, but it's not up to me. It's up to our audience. So if you are in the chat right now, please reach out, drop us a vote. You're going to vote either for PechaKucha or Please Make This. If you have a hard time spelling PechaKucha, we'll figure it out phonetically. But vote for whichever team you thought did the best job with the category. And that team is going to be awarded 300 points.
So
We're going to
many.
tally up those
300.
votes. Yes, 300 points.
Okay.
We're
so
going to
many
tally
up,
those
though.
votes up while we take a little break from one of our wonderful sponsors. But before we do, we have a little trivia for you, the viewers at home. Alan, if you could throw that up for us. Take a look at this picture. Now, can you guess what this image is? I will give you a hint. They were very popular in the 1990s, and they were also a hit at birthday parties. So take a look real quick, see if you can guess. We'll tell you the answer when we come back from this quick ad. Nothing says quality time like a traditional Italian dinner at home. Take it from me, Uncle Sal. And everybody's pinching pennies these days. So now it's easier than ever to have a real authentico Italian dinner without breaking the bank. Thanks to Nucci's own line of budget Italian classics. Make that spaghetti shine with a jar of our red pasta topping. Red, just like Nonna used to make. And no plate of spaghetti is complete without a couple of meat spears. Parmesan? Have a sip of the old country with I can't believe it's not wine. That definitely doesn't taste like it was made in a bathtub. So look for Nucci's own classical products wherever fine Italian products are sold. And when you can't find them there, go ask my cousin Vito. He'll fix you up. Hey, it's cheap, but it ain't free, right? And we're back. It was a hit at birthday parties, and it had its heyday in the 90s. If you guessed the hologram of Robert Kardashian, you are 100% correct. Once again, thank you so much for playing along with us at home. Welcome back, and we're about to get into round 2 where the points are doubled. But first, we got to tally up some vote counts. And Al, did we have a winner in our last game?
We
Who drew
did.
the best sketch.
Please make this stole the points.
Yeah!
Stole the points. We'll draw our best image of you stealing those 300 points when we finish up the game tonight. But for right now, that puts Please Make This in the lead with 500. PechaKucha slightly behind them with 200. But as I said, it's round 2. Points are doubled. It's still anybody's game, which means we have to move on to our next game. And I don't know about you, but that last ad was like looking
Mamma mia.
like looking into the future, but also really just had me thinking about family and thinking about, heritage and pride. And I think that for me, nothing reminds me of family more than the family, La Famiglia. I'm talking about La Cosa Nostra, good old-fashioned mafiosas. And I thought we would take a moment to quiz our contestants tonight on some of the finer points of what it is that makes a mafioso name in a game that I'm calling Don or Don't. Now, this is a little different from the usual trivia. I'll explain how this works. In front of me, I have a list of 12 names. Each one of these is the name of a professional gangster, including their nickname. Except some of these are real, and some of these are ones that I made up. So I'm going to give you a name, and you're going to tell me whether or not this is a real mafioso or not. So there's 12 names. This is not a team game. I will give each of you individually a name. You will tell me whether or not it is real or fake. If you get it right, you'll get your team 100 points. You'll each have an opportunity to answer 2. Make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we are going to start this one off with Laura. Laura, this is your first name. Let me know if this is a real or a fake mobster. Your mobster's name is Benny Three Toes Balducci. Real or fake?
You know what? I'm going to say fake.
It is fake for 100 points. Great
Hell yeah.
job. All right.
You gotta
Next
have
one.
all 10 toes to be a real
You got
mob
10
boss.
toes to be a mobster. At least 7.
I was gonna say yeah because that sounds like something they'd give you shit for in the mafia.
Yeah, it's 3 toes over here.
You never know how somebody gets their nickname.
Although if he had 3 toes, he'd be the sloth. Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, they're big
Don't-
rainforest animal facts fans.
Yeah, all of their meetings were at Rainforest Cafe.
The mafia to be in the mafia to read all the zoo books.
Hey, seat me by the tree, lady.
Don Zaboomafoo, I have brought you a gift. All right.
The
Moving
Crab
on, this
Brothers
one's-
have messed with us for the last time.
We can do this all night, literally.
I know.
All right, Mel, this one is for you. Your mafioso name. Tell me if this is real or fake. The name is Tommy the Toupee Bilotti.
I'm watching a lot of Fargo season 4, so I've heard
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of ridiculous gangster names, and this doesn't help me at all because that's not actually real, despite what they say at the beginning of the show. It is not true. I'm gonna say that men in the olden times would still make fun of each other's hair, so it's true.
Mel, it is true for 100 points. Nicely done. All right, moving over to Spencer. Spencer, this one is for you.
Okay.
Your mafioso name is Philip Chicken Man Testa.
I mean, my first instinct is to say no because I can't think of a mafia guy named Philip. And so, you know what? I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say that's not a real mafia guy.
Spencer, he is real, or he
The
was.
Chicken Man?
He was until somebody blew him up in 1981.
Yeah,
Yes, he was
poor
a Philadelphia
guy.
crime boss named Philip Chicken Man Testa. So no points
you ever
awarded
watched-
on that one.
Animaniacs, that's who Chicken Boo was modeled after.
Yes, very much so. That's why he always does the Scorsese bits.
That makes
All
a lot
right.
of sense now.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of, Chris, this one's for you. Let's see if you can put that knowledge to the test. Your name is Kevin 2 Weeks Weeks.
Sure, yeah, he's real.
I love how confident you were with that answer. Thank you very much. Yes, he was real. He got his nickname because he only lasted 2 weeks in jail before he flipped to the FBI. So Kevin 2 Weeks Weeks, a real name for 100 points. Nicely done, Chris. All right, going over to Hobart. This one's for you. Your name is Nikki the Neck Palinga.
That sounds incredibly familiar, so I want to say true. Yeah, I want to say true. That for some reason, if not, this is just a name that's been bopping around my head.
It might be there for some other reason because I literally just made that nickname up earlier today. Nikki the Neck Palinga is not a real gangster.
Well,
Nikki the Neck Palinga.
I know it's getting written into our next Please Make This script.
Yep.
And he wears lots of
Well,
gold
we're gonna make it
chains.
Great.
Hey,
All right.
Chicken Man, bring in the neck.
No, that's a real
All
guy.
right.
We can't do that.
This next one's over for you, Gary.
Damn,
This
he got
one is
blown
yours.
up.
Gary, this one's yours for 100 points. Can you tell me if Maurice Slow-Mo Abruzzo is a real gangster or not?
None of that sounds real person. Maurice? I'm gonna go with false.
It is fake, Gary, for 100 points.
Hell
Nicely
yeah.
done.
But for
All right.
clarity, there are people named Maurice in the world.
Yeah, that is a real name, yes.
Maurice,
true,
where the
yes.
wild things are, Sendak.
Yes.
Maurice LaMarche, right? The voice actor.
Also,
No,
yes,
you're
there's-
like in the song. Some people call me Maurice.
That fake name.
All right, back
And
over
I
at the top of the order. We're going over back to Laura. Laura, let's see if you can guess this one.
Okay.
Your mobster is named Angelo Quack Quack Ruggiero.
I'm gonna say real because I want it to be real.
We all want it to be real, and it
Oh.
is. Angelo Quack Quack Ruggiero is a real gangster in the Gambino crime family for 100 points. Nice.
I thought you were going to say for 100 years he was
For
in
100
this crime family.
The oldest mobster in the city.
He's on the opposite spectrum from 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, Mel, this one is for you. Tell me if this is real or fake. Ciro, the Artichoke King Terranova.
That is like too many words, which means it could be real, but it seems like it's probably not, so I'm going to say it's fake.
Unfortunately, the Artichoke King Terranova was a real crime boss in the 1920s. He ran the racket on imported artichokes, which I just learned were actually illegal in New York because of the illegal artichoke trade. So unfortunately,
They
he's
just
a real
legalized
dude.
them, there'd be
Which
no
means
trade.
There's so many
Artichokes
layers to
aren't real.
unpack about what I just said right now, but we don't have time for
Like
it.
an artichoke.
Yes,
Oh.
like an artichoke. There's so many things to unfold. But all right, so no points awarded on that one, Mel, unfortunately. So this next one goes over to Spencer. This one is for you. Tell me if this guy is real or fake. Francis the Wombat Andolino.
Fake. I'm going to just go fake.
Right
Wombat.
out from the
Yeah,
gut.
I'm not feeling it.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to trust your gut, and this is one of those times. It is a fake name for 100 points.
Good job, Spence.
Hell yeah. The
All right.
Wombat.
The Wombat. All right, and then let's see. Next one's going over to Chris. Chris, this one's for you. Tell me if this is real. Carmine Bad Breath Scripino.
Carmine just makes me think of Carmine Falcone from Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're pulling from your subconscious, Nooch. I'll roll the dice. I'm going to say he's real. He's a real dude.
You know me better than that, Chris. I'm sorry, he's not real. Carmine Bad Breath Scripino is not a real gangster, which means no points. All right, going over to Hobart. This one's for you. Tell me if this is real or fake. Johnny No-Nose DeFranzo.
You know what? It steered me wrong last time, but I'm still going to go for it. It's real.
It is real. He was a Chicago gangster who lost most of his nose in the middle of a burglary, so they just called him No Nose.
Oh, I thought it was like,
you know-
I thought you meant like
No. Like no nose. Like sometimes it's just literally as plain as the not nose on your face.
Oh,
He handled the daycare and he was like, no, babies.
No nose. They called him Jimmy the pacifier because he was good with a pinky. All right. And then last one for the category. This one's back over to Gary. Tell me if this one is real or fake. Your gangster's name is Constanzo Dancing Shoes Lucchese.
Jesus Christ.
Fake. I'm just going to shoot it straight.
Straight fake? All right. Well, Gary, good answer because that was fake for 100 points. So
Nice.
Nicely
Mobsters
done.
don't dance.
He's a real
Everybody.
guy,
allowed
but
to.
he is not a mobster. Yeah.
You earned
Way
some points.
worse than the first.
Actually, a shoe salesman.
You earned some points on that one, but here's an opportunity for your team to earn 200 more points in this category. Here's how this is going to work. I need one volunteer from each team. Who's it going to be for PechaKucha?
I feel like I shouldn't volunteer for things.
Don't all
I
jump at
nominate
once.
Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan.
We're going to
Okay.
go with Donovan. All right, Chris, it's up
Yep.
to you. And then please make this. I need one person to step forward from your team as well.
What do you think?
Who wants it?
I'm down for whatever.
Hobart, you take this one.
Y'all are
All
so
right.
decisive. I love
I
it.
trust
All right,
you.
Hobart. Okay, great. So here's the deal. What we're going to do is each one of you is going to pick one of the fake names that I came out with, and I'll remind you which ones they are. And you're going to give me, in a very brief 10, 15-second clip, you're going to do your best gangster impression, and you're going to explain to your fellow contestants and the audience at home exactly how you got that nickname. All right, so you can't both do the same one. So I'll remind you once again, it was three toes, the neck, slow-mo, the wombat, and bad breath. So you can choose whichever one you want based on the coin flip. Please make this. You're going to get the first option on this one. So Hobart, whichever one you want to go with, do your best mafioso and explain to me and the audience at home exactly how it is that you got that nickname, right?
Do I just say which one I picked first? Or?
Please, yes, yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the wombat. I like the wombat a lot.
So please, Mr. Wombat, educate me on how exactly you came to come by this nickname.
You see, I've always had a bit of a thing for Australia, and I've always wanted to go to Australia, and I talk about Australia a lot. And the Rescuers Down Under was a very landmark film for me as a child. And also, I have a little pouch on my tummy where I put things like a gun. You know, I put a couple of guns out for hits. And I also, when I poop, it's cubes, which wombats poop cubes to throw off predators. I poop cubes because of a condition, but I think the coincidence is charming.
Bene. I think you might have gone a little too far with that exposition, but thank you very much to Wombat. Now, Mr. Donovan, exactly how did you come by which nickname?
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo. Well, please describe to the audience at home exactly how you come by slow-mo.
So you see, what happened was we're on lookout,
Slow-mo, if you could
At
speed
this
it up a little bit here. We're having a little...
and this guy comes over talking me about this red sauce.
Slow-mo,
It's
listen, the
this
time is
new
money here,
sauce
okay?
that comes around supposed to be like what my nana makes. But I say, red, it's gotta have a name to it. Can't
All right,
just
slow-mo,
be
slow-mo. I think we're getting the
red.
picture. Here. All right, thank you very much. And scene. Thank you very much. So now, audience at home, now is your opportunity to give whichever team did their best Mafia impersonation / explanation an extra 200 points in this category. Throw it in the chat. Who did it better? Was it Chris from PechaKucha or was it Hobart from Please Make This? Throw your votes in. We're going to count them up and we're going to tack that on to the score, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. But first, we have one more category to get into this round. And again, we've been gone for 2 weeks, and apparently just us being away for 2 weeks we don't know. Maybe it's because we weren't around to educate people on proper mask usage or social distancing. But we are in the middle of some of the worst COVID numbers that have been seen nationwide since this pandemic first started. In fact, we're entering our third wave of the pandemic, which is scary and should be taken seriously, but also we felt like it would be a good opportunity for us to show the folks at home and our contestants here that not everything that comes in threes is inherently bad. So we're going to ask you some trivia questions about some famous trios in a category called Three's Company. I heard the gasp. I can tell you right now, the show is not one of the answers to the category.
I'm excited about the category regardless.
I feel like that would have been a little too on the nose.
Would be really funny.
We appreciate it. Okay, so again, these are all questions that have to do with things that come in threes. Great. So, first question is going over to PechaKucha Providence for 200 points. Answer this question. While this trio officially debuted in 1997, they originally got their start in 1990 as part of a 6-member pop group called Girls' Time before morphing into the top-selling female vocal group between 1997 and 2005.
Gotta be Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I can't think of any other female singing trios. I can think of Hanson Brothers, but they're not girls. So.
Are we good with Destiny's Child?
Yeah, I don't think it gets better than that.
Final answer.
You're right, it doesn't get better than that. Destiny's Child is correct for 200 points. Well done. All right, next question going over to Please Make This. This is yours. Jerome, Moses, and Samuel Horwitz formed This Entertainment Trio in 1922. In 1940, their short film, You Nazi Spy, was the first American production to openly mock Adolf Hitler's regime, earning them a spot on his personal death list. What is the name of the trio?
It's the Marx Brothers.
Marx Brothers, yeah. Or it'd be it wouldn't be the Stooges. They're not brothers.
No,
One of those
Doesn't
got
have
me.
to be Marx Brothers.
I'm pretty sure it's the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That works for me.
Unfortunately, it is not the Marx
Oh,
Brothers,
no.
which means, PechaKucha, you have an opportunity to steal for 100 points if you can answer the question.
Can you give the question one more time, please?
Absolutely. Jerome, Moses, and Samuel Horwitz formed This Entertainment Trio in 1922. In 1940, their short film, You Nazi Spy, was the first American production to openly mock Adolf Hitler's regime, earning them a spot on his personal death list.
It was popular in the 40s.
Destiny's Child.
Clearly, they're just time
Good
travel.
guess, but I will say I won't put the same answer twice in the same category.
It's
So
exactly the type of
If it's
thing you would
hip-hop.
say if you were going to do it, though.
I got nothing on this.
I do need an answer from you.
Why don't I know enough 40s movies?
Fortunately, if I can't get an answer, I gotta call time.
Then we'll pick the
And I'm
Three
sorry,
Stooges, right?
I gotta call
Three
time on you
Three
on that
Stooges,
one,
yeah.
Three
unfortunately.
Stooges.
Sorry, everybody, that was time for you, but it was, in fact, the Three Stooges. But,
Damn it!
Came in
Ding,
under
ding,
the
dong.
wire, which means I can't give you the points on that one. But no points awarded for either team, which means we're moving on to the next one. This one stays with PechaKucha, so you have an opportunity for 200 points on this question. This trio of structures were first commissioned around 2550 BC, and despite their age, the largest of the three would remain the tallest man-made structure in the world until the year 1300.
I feel like pyramids.
Yeah, it's
Can you repeat that one more time?
550 BC.
Yes. This trio of structures were first commissioned around 2550 BC, 2550 BC, and despite their age, the largest of the three would remain the tallest man-made structure in the world until the year 1300.
It's probably the Great Pyramids, right?
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say the Great Pyramids. Final answer.
Final answer? Great Pyramids, specifically Great Pyramids of Giza, is correct for 200 points. Well done, PechaKucha. Moving back over to Please Make This your question. This 1966 Sergio Leone film is a trio to end a trilogy, putting three characters on a quest to find missing Confederate gold. It is the third and final film in Leone's Dollars trilogy. What is the name of the film?
I want to say The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
It's either that or City Slickers 2, Search for Curly's
No,
Gold.
it's not. It's not.
I'm gonna side with Hobart on this. I don't have any other guesses, so I think that sounds good.
You know, I'm gonna go with Hobart, but my gut is gonna stick with City Slickers.
If it's wrong, it's definitely Spencer's. Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
No, maybe we should consider City Slickers.
No,
Seem
that's
very confident about it.
The board
Yeah.
is still yours. You can choose.
No.
It's good, bad, and the ugly.
It is the good, the bad, and the ugly for 200 points. Technically, you have to count the prequel to make City Slickers 2 the trilogy, but then it just gets into the whole, you know, did they ruin the
mansplain
franchise?
City Slickers to me, okay? But
I love the City
third part of
Slickers.
that?
City
Like,
Slickers when
right?
Curly hit his gold.
Yes, right. It's a young Curly coming of age story. Yeah. He learns to pod race. It's a whole thing. All right. Last question of the category, and this one goes back over to PechaKucha. This is yours for 200 points. This 1949 British film noir starring Joseph Cotten and Orson Welles is a hallmark of expressionist cinematography, and between its story and musical score, in 1999, the British Film Institute called it the greatest British film of all time. What is the name of the movie?
City Slickers 2.
Gotta be
This
the
is
third
for
man.
PechaKucha. This is for PechaKucha.
Would it be the third man?
Mel, I'm trusting you on this one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, I mean, I can't remember if Orson Welles is in that or directs it, but it's the only one I can think with three, so we're gonna go with the third man.
Final answer?
Yes.
He didn't direct it, but he starred in it. It is the third man for
Nice.
200 points. Well
Very
done,
good.
PechaKucha. All right, so that is the end of round 2, and I'm looking at the scores right now, and I have, please make this with 1,000 points. And I have
1,000
PechaKucha with
1,100.
I'm sorry, 1,100. Thank
Yep.
you very much, Al. And PechaKucha with 1,200 points. But there's still
Ooh.
200 points on the line for whoever did their best Mafia Don impersonation, which means, Al, do we get a vote on that?
PechaKucha took it.
PechaKucha took it for an extra 200 points, bringing their total up to 1,400, but still a very close game. We still have a couple of questions left for you, and we will get to those in just a moment. But first, another one of our wonderful ads from one of our wonderful sponsors.
You got bugs. That means you got a bug problem. So come on down to Scud's Bug Exterminations. I'm Scud Buzzman, and I kill any bug on any day. I do ants, spiders, cockroaches, hell, even butterflies and ladybugs if you let me. I hate all of God's mistakes. And I ain't just gonna fly swat them neither. I can poison them, trap them dead, even blow them up. You want to get rid of your bugs humanely? Well, that's just too damn bad. So come on down to Scud's Bug Exterminations. And let me kill those bugs.
And we are back. And thank you once again to our wonderful sponsor for submitting that to us. We really appreciate having your support here on the show. And we are about to move into round 3, where the questions are worth 300 points. Stealing gets you 150 points. So it really is anybody's game, which brings us to our next category, birds. Everybody's talking
I'm
about
looking
birds
for
here.
Mr.
I
Ayaguchi.
feel like- I'm sorry, what?
I'm here to chop down a tree in your backyard. Your landlord sent me.
Al, do we have somebody's...
Yeah, he
Backyard.
he jumped in. He cut the wire to your house that I'm sending the feed to, and he's yelling into it.
I'm sorry, sir, can I help you?
Yeah, your landlord sent me. I'm here to chop down a dead tree in your backyard. They said I could contact you if I needed to use the bathroom or anything.
Well, use my bathroom? No, we're in the middle of a game show right now that I do. Also, it's nighttime, but...
Hey, the times are what they are, sir. They told you in between now and then, and I'm here now. So, but a game show, you say?
Yeah, we do it's a game show that we do here called Quarantine Socially Distanced. It's yada yada yada. So we're in the middle of doing that right now, which means I can't really.
I've always wanted to host my own game show, and I actually have some questions ready, like off the top of my head. I'm quite the historian.
I trust that you are. So what was your name again, sir? It was
Eric.
Eric the lumberjack. Okay, great, sir. But wait, I can't defer someo's dream.
Please, just let me.
Let him do it.
Let him do it,
All right,
please.
that's fine. I'm gonna get another scotch. You got 5 minutes.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm Eric from the company Jacking It Up. Look us up. We're on Google. Yeah, I'm going to jump in. Let's see. We got 2 teams here. You should make this or whatever your name is. You go first.
Okay.
First question. Paul Bunyan, famous lumberjack of American folklore. He's credited with making what natural wonder by dragging his axe behind him?
Grand Canyon, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I believe that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The Grand Canyon?
Ah, yes, you are correct, sir.
Good work, Hobart.
All right, to the other team.
This is delightful.
My
This guy
favorite
should host the
song
whole
is-
show. I love this guy.
We've already been through that with another guy. We're not doing that again.
I don't know. I might need a recount.
Yeah.
Second question. So my favorite song is Timber by Kesha and Pitbull. What's the next line after this? It's going down, I'm yelling timber.
This is for PechaKucha, correct?
Yes.
I listen to old people music.
Oh God.
What's that?
I got nothing.
I love the look of awe on his face.
All right, the other team. You
Sorry,
guys
Eric. I guess.
You'd better move. You'd better dance.
Yes, sir. You got it.
You're so excited.
Ah,
I
love that song.
assumed it was gonna rhyme like it was. So I hope you're ready, and I hope you're limber.
It's just you'd better move. You'd better dance.
That makes sense.
Powerful.
So please make this. Is this? Please make this his question then.
That stays with please
All
make.
right.
You're doing great, Eric. You're doing great. Keep it
Oh,
up.
thank you. This is my first time. I'm a little rusty. So next question. Males in the profession are referred to as lumberjacks. What is the proper name for a female in the profession?
Well, I want to say it's lumberjacks as well because we're all good people here. But
That's fair.
I believe it's lumberjills.
Or wait. What about lumberjanes?
No, I feel like I would go with lumberjills.
Wood ladies, lumberjills. It's Jack and Jill, so yeah, lumberjills.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You are correct, sir. It is lumberjills. All
It
right.
sounds like a body part on a fish. The lumberjills.
Good eating. The other team that I can't pronounce their name. It's your turn.
Yay!
If I would ask you to hand me a misery whip, what would I be asking for?
A D&D spell? I don't know.
Come on, you know a misery whip.
Misery whip.
I don't know, Ninetales?
I mean,
I feel like it's something to pull a tree down, right?
yeah, I was gonna say it's either like the hook that pulls trees when they're floating down the river, or it's something even more esoteric.
I gotta say, my instinct is something to pull a tree down.
Yeah, I'll go with that. The thing that pulls the tree down.
You are incorrect. To the other team.
Well, lumberjacks are mostly known for pulling trees down. So
I want to say like a switch, like when someone get a switch.
yeah.
You ever had a mean older relative, like a branch?
Yeah. Something to
But
spank your ass with.
also, maybe it's like maybe lumberjacks don't like jump roping.
Maybe it's the opposite of Cool Whip.
Yeah, mystery whip. Yeah. It's instead of being made of hydrogenated oil, it's just made of petroleum.
It's whipped up petroleum oil. Yum yum.
Or do you want that hot fudge sundae extra hot?
What do you think, Laura?
I think it's I don't know. I was thinking of one of those saws that goes around and has like it's like more of like an oval shaped saw.
Chainsaw?
A chainsaw?
No, it's like a handheld one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I don't know why that was the first thing that popped in my head, and I don't know what they're actually called.
I don't know. I think switch is the way to go on this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Final answer?
Final
Switch.
answer.
You are incorrect. I'm sorry.
What is it, Eric?
Please tell us,
A
Eric.
misery whip is one of those really thin blades that two people can hold on either side of the
Oh!
That's kind of what you were saying, Laura.
I was kind of saying mine was also an old saw tool. I just picked the wrong one.
tree. You were close.
Sure.
You were close. They
Yeah.
were called misery whips because they were very hard to sharpen and very hard to sharpen.
And not
Alright,
for what
so-
I would imagine would be a number of traumatic accidents that happened while using them.
Oh, you have no idea. Lots of trees falling on people. But anyway, this is an upbeat show. Last question.
This one stays with please make this.
I'm sorry.
Please make this. It's their question, yep.
Oh, yes, please make this. Lumberjacks sometimes would come down with what's known as blanket fever. What are the symptoms of blanket fever?
I feel like fever is probably
Fever?
on there.
Maybe your skin. Maybe it's something happens to your skin and it makes you all, I don't know, fuzzy like.
Maybe you get itchy, like
Yeah.
maybe
It's itchy. Yeah.
itchy, feverish, sleepy. Because you just want to be tucked up in a blanket.
And sleepy, Doc, bashful.
Yeah.
Snow White, the witch.
Itchy
You're
and
guessing a lot of
fever.
symptoms. Can I get one symptom?
Oh, just
I think
one.
itchy is the way to go. Is that?
Yeah, I agree.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yes.
Final
Correct.
answer.
I'm sorry, you're incorrect, sir. To the other team!
What do you get when you get blanket fever, folks?
I really thought they had it there.
I mean, fevers actually make you feel cold most of the time.
Right.
Ooh.
Even
Little
if you're
deception.
overheating, you don't feel cold. I mean, you don't feel warm.
So like
Like
chills.
helping.
Like chills?
Yeah.
Is that
chill.
what? Yeah, we're gonna say chills.
Final answer?
Yes.
Final answer.
I'm sorry, you're also incorrect.
Eric, what is it?
Well,
Tell us.
blanket fever was when a lumberjack would just stay in bed past the time that all the other lumberjacks would get up. So, a lazy lumberjack.
Oh, so the symptom was sleepiness.
That's why I asked for one symptom, because you started naming them all.
They can't all be blanket fever. Well, Eric the Lumberjack, thank you so much for swinging by tonight. We hope this in some way fulfilled some small part of your dream to be a game show host. And also, when you knock that tree over, if you could just make sure it falls away from the apartment, that would be really appreciated. Thank you so much.
That's fine. I'll be back in, I could squeeze you in probably about 4 months. Is that okay?
I'm here, so we're not going anywhere, which means, yes, sure, that should be fine.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Eric the Lumberjack, everybody. Thank you all.
Bye, Eric. Thank
Hey,
you.
bye,
Thank you for all the
Eric.
fun lumberjack facts.
Well, now we've got one last category to go at the end of the show, and we wanted to end tonight's show on a little bit of an upbeat note. Now, it's not 100% guaranteed, but there has been a lot of talk in the news in the last week or two about the potential for a COVID vaccine. 2 different companies have come forward with very promising results, and some people are speculating that there could even be a vaccine as early as the start of next year, which would be incredible because it would be the fastest that anybody has ever developed a vaccine for any new disease. Very, very positive. Again, not an excuse to not pay attention to social distancing, wearing your masks, doing all the safe things that we have to do, but it is a bit of a shining light in the middle of an otherwise craptacular year. So I thought we would spend this last category asking our contestants some questions about some of the other wonderful medical miracles in science that have cured a number of diseases in a category that we're calling fact-zines.
Wow.
Vaccines. They can't all be winners, everybody. These are all questions about vaccines and disease cures. So this one, we're going to start off with PechaKucha. These are for 300 points. You ready to go?
Yeah, we need them.
Your question is, thanks in tremendous part to the work of physician Jonas Salk, this disease was eliminated in the United States by 1979 after widespread vaccination efforts?
It's got to be polio, right?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Jonas Salk invented a cure for polio for 300 points.
Nice.
Well done. Next question going over to Please Make This. In 1885, Louis Pasteur, considered to be the father of immunology, administered this vaccine to a human for the first time in an attempt to save a 9-year-old boy who had come in contact with a sick animal. What was the disease?
I'm pretty sure it's bubonic plague.
Rabies?
I was gonna say rabies if he came in contact with an animal.
I don't know if they have a vaccine for bubonic plague.
A blanket fever?
They certainly have
There
a
is no
vaccine
known
for that.
cure
It's
for
called
blanket
coffee.
fever.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, your final answer is?
Rabies.
Rabies is correct for 300
Nice. Oh,
points.
excellent.
Well done. It's excellent. All right, next question. Going back over to PechaKucha PVD. Your question. In 1796, English physician Edward Jenner became famous for discovering a vaccination method for smallpox when he discovered that humans could be inoculated against the disease by being given a weaker version of smallpox from this animal.
Pig?
Yeah, I would guess like a pig, or they did a lot of experiments on dogs. But usually farm animals were like the way to go, or rats. They experiment on rats back then.
Got a lot of animals here. I need you to pick one.
I'll go with pig. We're close
Yeah,
enough.
well,
Final answer?
Yeah, pig.
Fortunately, pig is not the correct answer, which means Please Make This for 150 points. Can you name the animal that Edward Jenner used to help develop a vaccination technique for smallpox?
I know this one. I think it's the one that I was thinking of. It's cows.
Is it cows?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say- I was
I
gonna
was
say
like, I know
cows.
this. I
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah.
It's cows.
Final answer?
Cows.
Yes.
That is correct for 150 points. Interesting
go,
little
there you go.
tidbit. The word vaccine actually comes from the Latin word for cow because the first vaccine was a version of cowpox that became the cure for smallpox.
Interesting.
That's where a little
Learned so
etymology
much
for the
today.
folks at home. But that's 150 points on the board for Please Make This. Well done. And I'm going to mark that down before I forget. All right, moving on to the next question. This one stays with Please Make This. This is for 300. In 1885, Jamie Ferran developed a vaccine that was the first to immunize humans against this waterborne illness, also called the Blue Death, and vaccinated around 50,000 people during an epidemic in Valencia, Spain.
I want to say cholera.
Yeah, it's either like
Cholera's
dysentery or
waterborne.
cholera. And so, yeah, I think...
Also, I feel like Love in the Time of Cholera is about Italy. So I want to say cholera.
I'll trust
Cholera.
that.
Final answer?
Cholera.
Cholera is correct for
Hey, good job,
Nice.
Hobart. I had no idea.
All right. Last
Well, that's
question.
because
This one
you got
goes.
the vaccine.
That's right. Now we don't have to worry about it because there's
Yeah.
a vaccine for it. Also, we started cleaning up drinking water, but that's besides the point. PechaKucha, this is your question. Last question of the category, potentially the game. Your question for 300 points. In 1943, microbiologist Selman Waxman, along with his colleague Albert Schatz, isolated the antibiotic streptomycin, which became one of the most effective treatments in battling this deadly wasting disease. What was the name of the disease that they helped remove by inventing streptomycin?
Disease. Would be tuberculosis. That's like the one in like the old timey sad romances, right? That they have.
that
I think
feels
the
right.
timing's right on that.
That's the one in Moulin Rouge.
Tuberculosis. Final answer.
Final
I was
answer
gonna
is
say
tuberculosis.
specifically which sad old timey like romantic thing I thought it was, but yeah.
There's a lot to choose from, but yes, it is tuberculosis. So well done for 300 points. So
Great shorthand in a script for someone dying as they cough a little bit of blood onto their neck.
That's really it. My darling, I wrote you these poems.
Oh no!
That was called being romantic back then.
Bleeding.
So that is the end of the formal game. That's the end of round 3. Totaling up the scores right now, I have Please Make This with 2,600 points. And behind them, I have PechaKucha with 2,000 points. But it is not the end of the game. It just means that right now we're about to enter into the final round.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
Woot! And it's about to get tense, y'all, because here is how the
it.
final round works.
We all physically fight.
That's it.
My
We
cats are
break
physically
social
fighting.
distancing guidelines and we get in the ring. No, here's how this works. I have in front of me 3 different questions. Each one of them is slightly harder than the previous, and each one is worth slightly more than the previous. One is worth 500, one is worth 750, and one is worth 1,000 points. Now, right now, PechaKucha, you trail by 600 points, which means in order to take the lead, you need to answer either the medium or the hard question. If you answer the question correctly, you'll get the allotted points, which means that you'll take the lead, and Please Make This will have to answer one of the 2 remaining questions to take back the lead and win the game. So PechaKucha, you have a hard decision to make right now. Do you want to go for the 750 point or the 1,000 point question?
All right, team, follow my logic on this. This is my favorite part of quarantine and the most stressful part. So if we take the...
That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you.
If we take the $750 question, then even the 500 will get them over us if we get it right. So if we take the 1,000, it's more challenging, and even if we do the 1,000, they can still do the 500 and get over. So no sense in stressing ourselves out. 750. That's my vote.
Very thought out, Chris.
Math.
I appreciate the math you've done there. So I assume you're going to go for the 750 point medium question.
Medium question. And then just toss out the easy one. Make them do the hard one.
And then
if we get
that's
this
it.
right.
Great. Okay. Well, let's see if you can get this
That's
one
fair.
right first. Okay. This one is for you for 750 points. Potentially the lead, potentially the game. Are you ready? Okay. In 1885, Louis Pasteur developed the first vaccine for rabies ever successfully used on humans, as we mentioned before. In order to create a strain of the virus that was weak enough to produce immunization without harming the patient, a process that we now call attenuation, he first passed the virus through this animal. What was the animal that Louis Pasteur used to help develop the rabies vaccine?
I would say cow, but he said earlier that the same answer would not be in toys, so...
I mean, when I think rabies, I think more of the like nocturnally kind of like you got like a raccoon or like a dog or something.
I should point out, I will give you a little extra time to discuss this one than usual, so you have a little bit more time to discuss.
I don't think there's raccoons in France.
It's valid.
Well, then how will they know what potato chips are the best? Sorry, that was some pre-show content.
That's a meta joke from the pre-show.
Anyways, go on. You have a question to answer.
It's not a cow.
But it wouldn't be like a rat or something.
Or a mouse.
Oh, I don't know what they treated on back then. I feel like it'd be a large animal because small animals take different dosages.
My instincts are leaning toward like a dog or something.
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe it's a dog because then a dog is like at least big enough that you can figure out your dosages, whereas a mouse or a rat's small. But they had a lot of rats that had rabies.
But would you use that to test, like to pass through? Rats are dirty.
Oh, pass through. Yeah. That's the actual question here. Blah. Thoughts.
I'm leaning toward dog unless anyone else has strong feelings otherwise.
Okay, I'll give you probably about another
They
60
did
seconds
bad
to come
things
up with
to
an
dogs
answer.
in the late 19th century, so I'm going to say dog. I'm going to agree with dog.
I'll go with dog. I feel like there should be like a statue of a dog around then, right?
Yeah.
I don't know all the French statues, if I'm being honest.
There's quite a few of them. So dog is your final answer, PechaKucha?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your final answer. Unfortunately, the answer is not dog. Louis Pasteur used rabbits in his attenuation process to develop the rabies vaccine, which, again, hard one to know if you aren't familiar with Louis Pasteur, but there are a lot of portraits of him with rabbits because that was how he developed his famous vaccine.
It's like a fluffy rat.
Yeah. It's kind of like a statue, but two-dimensional.
Yes,
I was gonna say,
exactly.
it's very French to use a rabbit.
So, unfortunately, PechaKucha, that means you didn't get the question right, which means you didn't get the points, which means you didn't get the win, which makes Please Make This our official winner for the game. And we're going to get to Please Make This in just a second. But before we do that, PechaKucha, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We really loved having you on tonight. Before we say goodnight to you, is there any way that our folks at home can follow you? Anything you'd like to promote? Any shows that you have coming up that they should know about? How can we see more of you?
Why, yes. We'll drop a link in the chat to our Facebook page of PechaKucha PVD, and we have an event coming up next week, which takes place on Facebook Live. So wherever you are around the country, feel free to join us, or around the world.
And I will second that by saying it is a fantastic event that you put on month after month, and I really do think anybody who hasn't checked out, it's very, very fascinating, super, super interesting, and just a cool way to just interact with people who come from different walks of life, who have different backgrounds, know lots of different things. So we will for sure drop the link to your next show on our show page so everybody who hasn't seen it can see it. Thank you very much, PechaKucha, and we're so sorry that we didn't see you win tonight, but we did see Please Make This win tonight. And congratulations, Please Make This. And we are not going to let you go out of here empty-handed because we do have a special prize for you tonight. Al, if you could throw that up. Tonight, you are winning a Hedgehog kitchen timer, courtesy of the budgets deals at Amazon.com. Use it for literally anything that you need to keep time for.
Oh my gosh.
Or don't. It's adorable. Just put it on your counter and act
So
like you have some
exciting.
semblance of time. That is for one of you to keep. We're not made of hedgehog timers here at Quarantine, but congratulations on your win, and thank you again so much for coming on tonight. And how can our viewers follow you, listen to your podcast? Please, you have the floor for a second. Let everybody know where they can see more of you.
Definitely. So we're our podcast is on just about every app you can listen to. We're on Spotify, iTunes. You'll find us. Just look up Please Make This. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Please Make This Pod or Please Make This or PMT Pod. And I'll go ahead and drop that link down below too for all you folks.
Fantastic. Drop it down there. And again, great podcast. You guys are so much fun to listen to, honestly, and it's
Thank
you.
great just seeing what you guys can come up with for a movie scene. It's so much fun. So thank you again. Yep.
We're also defending our title as the best podcast in Chicago. The polls just opened to nominate podcasts. So if you'd like to go to the Reader's website and find that link and nominate
I'll
us,
drop that link.
We'll
and then
drop it
vote for
below,
us,
yeah.
we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
For
please
sure,
vote for
yeah.
us as well.
And once again, we will throw links up to your page on our Facebook page. So anybody who follows us that isn't familiar with you, there's a great way to link over to you. But in the meantime, we just want to say a very heartfelt thank you to everybody who is watching at home. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you're a regular follower of ours, we love you so much. Thank you again for coming back. If this is your first time tonight, we do new shows every single Tuesday night with new teams, old teams, friendly faces, new sketches, new characters, all new trivia every single Tuesday night. You can find us here on Facebook at Quarantine Game Show, or you can also drop us an email if you have any questions, suggestions, if you have an ad that you'd like to send us at quarantinethegameshow@gmail.com. And between us here at Quarantine and all of our friends here who wish that you would all just make sure it's getting really bad out there. We don't like to make light of the fact that it is getting worse. Please remember to wear your mask, remember to socially distance. And as we say every week, stay safe, stay sane, and take care of each other. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. We will see you next week. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye.